Hi. Hello, hello, hello. Red is live. I'm usually honest with y'all. I didn't feel like going live tonight. Um, but I'm here. I'm here. So, Red's followers are called flames. So, let's light my little tea light here. This little light of mine, I'm gonna let it shine. This little light of mine, I'm gonna let it shine. This little light of mine, I'm gonna let it shine, let it shine, let it shine, let it shine. I think I'll turn off my dishwasher because it's kind of noisy. Let me turn it off. I'm back. I'm going to put subscribers only on, just in case of any trolls. But I honestly have been having more people watch my replay than come to my live when it's live. So, but that's still nice. Thanks for watching my replay. Like Fridays is up to 56 views, which is nice. So I thank you all for watching. If you're watching live or if you're watching the replay, thank you for being here. Going to put it on. Let's see. What is this? No, that's not what I want. Well, did they change something here? Let's see. Well, not able to. Interesting. The customization is not coming up. All right, well. Oh, there it is. Okay. Thank you. I don't know what was taking that so long. And gonna share it out. Let's see. I'm gonna share it out. Buzz Live. Anybody out there? Hello, hello, hello. So I've been having this issue with Facebook, and I can't click on the button to share to Facebook because I think it has to do with my browser is cutting things off. And I think that might be the problem why I can't. When I used to share like on my Facebook posts or my Instagram posts, or even share a video on StreamYard, but I need to change maybe my browser so it lets me click on the post button, because the post button doesn't show. So I have to share on Facebook a different way, which is copying the link and then going over there and sharing it. So I don't know. Alrighty. I'm going to play my flute. Got it here. So it was Poetry Sunday at the church I'm going to now, and I said 2 poems. I said my storm poem and I said my elephant poem. So that was pretty cool, and I was glad to be able to do that. And yeah. It's from this book, which I still need to order more copies of this. But if you want one, you can PayPal, Venmo, or Cash App me any amount, and then send me your snail mail address to redheadedridinghood@gmail.com, and I will send you a signed copy of that. I'll say the 2 poems I said here today, and I'll say some more poems too. How about that? Because, yeah. And I said before, I went to book club at the church I'm going to, and we're doing this book, which is very good, Atlas of the Heart. Feelings on feelings. Yeah. Which are important. Yep. All right, so I'm going to say the storm poem. You say that no one cares for you. Well, that's not true, because I do, and God does too. Oh, that I could fix your problem. I'd mend you up. You'd no longer be stuck in that addiction or depression, the trials that come in rapid succession. But what can I do? I cannot fix you. I can't make you believe or even relieve that deep ache in your heart. Just where do I start? Don't do nothing, she yelled at me. So what should I do? Scream and shout and run about? Perhaps sit and pout? No, I'll fight a war upon my knees. In quietness and confidence shall be my strength. He keeps my prayers and my tears. Perhaps the overflow makes the rain to water all the pain upon the earth. I'll thank him for this thorn. I'll praise him even when I'm worn, because he carries me through the storm. He walks to me on the tempest sea. The rain brings life back to my dying tree. And one day through the clouds I'll see the rainbow. So thank you to whoever's watching. I'm going to say my elephant poem too. My elephant poem is in here. And also, but I made it into a children's book, which I tell the story about all the time, that got taken from me. And yeah, very upsetting. But it's in this book. So again, if you want to send me PayPal, Venmo, Cash App of any amount, maybe at least $5 because that's how much it costs to send it. And send me your snail mail to this address. I'll send you a signed copy of the 7-Story Tree when I order more copies. Could take a little while right now, but you can still do that. And when I get more copies, I'll send you one. So the elephant, I want to show you the book. And I left it over there. Let me be right back. This is the book. So I paid them like $3,000 and then I got nothing. They sold copies of it and they charged me like $10. I was supposed to sell for $25. So they charged me like almost $11 for the copies that I bought, like this copy. I got like 3 copies for free or something like that. Not for free, but $3,000. For $3,000, I got to, and I did this whole book, because I wrote the poem, and then I told them what to, I had to work with these, this illustrator that was kind of snarky, because when I said, to make it more diverse because it was all white people, I said, can you draw any other people? Then the snarky illustrator made it all people of color and no white people. And then I've been going to write a poem and I haven't yet. My life has been topsy-turvy since I left everything and my world turned upside down. Since I decided I wasn't going to stay with a narcissist, that basically my ex was getting my children to be abusive to me. Hey, Crystal. Hi. Dropping in. Thank you for dropping in. Yeah, I see your subs went up a lot. Congratulations. It's good to see you too. But anyways, yeah, I get most of so what I've been saying lately on my lives is thanks for watching the replay, because I get all my lives on the replay. Most of my views on my lives I get on the replay. So y'all, thank you for watching the replay. But also thank you for watching live. It says 2 are watching. Hello. Good to see you. To see that you're here. You don't have to chat. You don't have to if you don't want to. So anyways, like I said, I picked out all these pictures in here and everything, and I paid $3,000 for them to do this. And then they did send me $11. They said I sold 4 copies. Not that I'm thinking I sold 1 million copies or anything, but it was like all over the place. And I don't know if it was in places it wasn't supposed to be, because it was on like Walmart.com. And I was like, what the heck? And then they were selling it for less than I was paying for it. I'm like, are you kidding me? What is going on here? It was so infuriating. And all this while I'm going through a divorce, trying to downsize, trying to sell my house. Then they try to sue me. It was insane. It was really insane. So yeah, that's my What Elephant book. And I briefly shared, I said, I made this into a children's book, but that's a whole other story. But I'm going to say, I'll read you the book and show you the pictures. And this was 2017. So, but it was 2020 when they tried to sue me. So might not be the statutes of limitations or whatever is up. I hope not. I don't know. I need to see if it's still, because I just totally ignored the whole, these lawyers called me or contacted me, sent me a letter in New York, because they were located in New York. Now they're in Connecticut. It's called Page Publishing. Do not hire Page Publishing. They're vanity publishers, is what they are. Paid publishers. So that's why I'm looking for a real publisher. Well, I'm not looking. I need to be looking. Red needs to get busy. Red needs to get busy. But I've been silenced. I've been silenced about a lot of things. But so let me just read you this. What Elephant? It's dedicated to my mom, for my mom, Ellen Olson Hewitt, who loved to give children books because they are the best gifts. Has there ever been an elephant in your room? When it walked, it went boom. You tried to deny it, but you couldn't hide it. Where can you hide an elephant? Oh no, that's a cat, you try to say, or maybe a bat. It will fly away. See, and this was all my idea. The elephant bat and the elephant cat. It's an awesome book. And I had to give myself a review. And how humiliating is this? I had to give my book a review, say this is a great book, but please don't buy it because I'm not getting royalties for it. And Amazon, my hat's off to Amazon if you'll print this review, and they did. That's insane, isn't it? If you can't admit it, you can't quit it. So, you guys, I was thinking today the world has gone crazy, but really it always has been crazy. And yeah, especially for me. Go ahead and face it. Can you trace it? This is the kid drawing the elephant. I finally went through and told him which kids to make white, to go back and forth with the illustrator, and then I'll get into the discussion of what God would look like. I went back and forth with what God would look like. Could the truth set you free, or will they all laugh at me? And that's an elephant bird, and was kind of inspired by, no, you don't get a copy of this book. Sorry. No, this book is not available because the a-holes at Page Publishing sold it from me. So no, this book is available. This poem is in this book. So anyways, I need to contact Page Publishing. First off, I want them to take the book down, because you can still find a copy of it on Amazon. It was for sale. This is how insane it got, Crystal. $600. It was for sale for $600. I'm like, are you kidding me? And I gave too many away. No, I don't have copies to sell. These publishers ripped me off. And then I spoke out about them on social media. And they tried to sue me for $1 million when I was in the middle of, it was the middle of a pandemic. I was divorced. My daughters were not talking to me. I was at rock bottom. I was downsizing. I was getting out of Georgia. Time to get out of Dodge. Red, time to get out of Dodge. I was selling all my possessions on, made $4,000 selling all my possessions on Facebook Marketplace. I sold my house. I paid off all my debt, paid cash for an RV, left Georgia, went up to the St. Louis area. And that was when I voted for a Democrat for the second time in my life. For the second time in my entire life. Yes, this poem is in there. So, anyways. So I'm hoping to redo the whole one, and it should be very similar. I thought of even copying this one and just downloading it because I'm so pissed. Downloading it to Amazon and selling it on there, but because I paid for them to do this, Could the truth set you free, or will they all laugh at you? Perhaps. Who are they, and why? Why do we care if they laugh? They have a hyena in their room. That's so much worse than just an elephant. How do you eat an elephant? One bite at a time. 1 day, 2 day, 3 day by day. These things I pray. I have a higher power who created elephants. Maybe he can take care of it. I wonder what he'll do. Will he take it to the zoo? So this, first I said, make him like you can't tell what like race he is. So it kind of like, it's kind of like my ex-husband. I used to have people guess what he was, and they usually would not get it. The closest they would get would say he's Hawaiian. So he made a sketch of him, and he kind of looked like nondescript, like you couldn't tell what he was. He was kind of like mixed maybe or something. And so I am the original writer of this. So anyways, I was watching my sister-in-law Joyce got me to watch Grey's Anatomy, because before I wouldn't watch it because I thought it was too ungodly of a show. And I was a giddy. And this is the guy who plays James Pickling, that plays the head of the hospital. And so I finally just went back and forth with him because I said he's too young. Then he made him look like Father Time, with a long beard. I'm like, oh yeah, of course, that's typical what God looks like. So I just had them make him look like him, and I didn't want to be like, Morgan, no, Morgan Freeman. And so I went with James Pickering instead of Morgan Freeman. Okay. I have a higher power. Okay. I already read that part. What? People will come from miles around to see the greatest show in town, the elephant. He now does tricks, and people pay to get their kicks. God can take your ashes and give you beauty. You thought you had to sacrifice. Everyone must pay their price. Now I'm lost. God can take your ashes and give you beauty. You thought you had to sacrifice. Everyone must pay their price. So he's getting the I am the original writer. I don't know what you meant, but they will get. I got people to not hire them. If I give him the elephant, he'll die. But the ringmaster doesn't work that way. The elephant will live another day. This was inspired by Horton Hatches the Egg. Bye, Crystal. He'll sing and dance because he got a second chance. The circus is a place of joy and wonder because the ringmaster has a plan. Trust the elephant in his hands. Hi, Elsa. Good to see you. Anyways, yeah, you guys, it's been rough. So I guess that's why I probably come across to a lot of people as angry. I don't have to rewrite it. It's wrote. It's written. It's written. It's mine. It's, I tried to find, so when it first happened, I didn't have any recourse because I didn't have any money to hire a lawyer. And I was in all this credit card debt. And then twice now, I've kind of looked around and it's hard to find that sort of lawyer, but I haven't tried again. And I was going to try for a third time to find a lawyer to take my case because I want to countersue them because, not only did they steal my book and rip me off, then they tried to sue me and that caused me, mental anguish. John, how are you? Haven't seen you in forever. How are you doing, John? Fun sitting. What I think you must mean, Crystal, is republish. I don't need to rewrite it. It's written. I memorized it. I knew it. He even took it. This guy, the guy is evil. I don't know if the same guy is still in charge of this. He even took it and tried to promote Page Publishing. He took my book and he said, contact the author. And, maybe his wife is a redhead or something. And he said, contact the author, tried to say, I don't know, that, contact the author and get in charge of get your book published with us, i.e. pay us $3,000 and we'll rip you off like we did Red-Headed Riding Hood, And so they were successful at silencing me for a while. And I was trying to find a lawyer when I got the money from selling my house. I did for a little while, but I was so busy, and that's what I found, that traveling in my RV, I wanted to have time to write, but I really didn't. I really didn't have time to write. Because, I was like, where am I going next? And, who am I going to see? Litchfield. Okay. Oh, wow. Okay. I pray for everybody, so I'm going to put you on my little list. Because I pray at the end for everybody. Okay. Let me see if I brought my pen over here, though. I don't know if I did. See the little turtle I got for my grandbabies? I got my plane ticket to Philly for Christmas. So that's nice. I need to get a pen so I can do my list. But anyways, I'm reminded every time I say that poem of what Page Publishing did to me. Page Publishing, they suck. Do not hire. I should put that on the title of this. I was like, what do I call this live? What am I going to talk about? Sometimes I don't really know until I get going. And like, here I go. Okay. We got Crystal, Elsa. I was thinking of doing this one on talking about that verse about a kingdom divided against itself can't stand. But that just made me too sad because I feel like both sides, both the liberals and the conservatives are divided against themselves. Like, what's going to happen with this mess? What's going to happen with this mess? So, yeah, we'll pray about your leg right now. How about that? Dear Lord, I lift up John to you and that you would heal his leg, Lord. He's been going through this for a while, Lord, and I concerned, Lord. I pray that you would heal his leg and be with him and comfort him, and thank you for his support of my channel. I pray these things in Jesus' name. Amen. So, yeah. So I'm going to see my grandbabies for Christmas. So that's exciting. And my son got his ticket too. So my younger son is going to meet me there again like last Christmas. So that's really nice. It kind of feels like it's kind of good to be like invited to a family thing. My family is totally dismantled, so it's kind of sad. And I could say it wasn't because of politics, but some of it was. Politics was kind of involved in some of that. But anyways, but not really directly, maybe indirectly, I'd say. Yeah. .9 centimeters. Yeah. Yeah, I didn't know that it was that you were, not on YouTube still about John. Yeah, I'm sorry for what you're going through with that. Did I show you my picture? That's Lily. So, it's kind of cool. There's a lot of older people at my church. The new church I'm going to. I'm on the third church that I'm trying here. I really like this one though. and the book club. There was a book club at the church in Denver, but see, going into Denver during the week, that's why I didn't go to the call center to call for Harris Walls, because they would do that in the evenings, and driving into Denver in the evenings is just like crazy traffic. So, and that's another reason why I didn't go to the book club either, because it would be driving into Denver in the evenings. So, but my new church is closer, so it's a cute little church too. There's a picture of it. So, and we had Poetry Sunday. So it was really nice. I want to show you the site where I found my church. It's kind of like find a liberal church. My parents were Democrats for most of their lives. Like my dad changed. My parents used to cancel each other out. And my dad was a Republican and my mom was a Democrat. But then my dad became a Democrat. And I don't know when it was. I wish my parents were still around so I could ask them, especially my mom. I wish my mom was still around. Let's just say that. I wish my mom was still around so I could ask her. But it might have been Nixon. I'm thinking it could have been Nixon why my dad changed, but I don't know. Because my mom's, maybe, I guess she had some persuasive powers over him, I guess, but he was a narcissistic and misogynistic. So I'm really surprised he switched to her side and she didn't switch to his side. But it might have had something to do, it probably had to do with the war and probably had to do with Nixon, the Vietnam War. So I found my church on the Freed Hearts site. Because contrary to what some people might tell you, some mega people might say, Jesus was not a Republican or a Democrat, really. But so, not in her journals. Oh, you know what? Her journals didn't go back. I don't know if she kept them. So I threw away some of her journals. Oh, I'm heartbroken about that. I should not have done that, but I was so desperate, and I had so many journals. I had 100 journals probably, and I had to fit everything I was going to keep in my car to go up to Philly, and everything I owned I kept in my RV when I traveled around in it, because I didn't know where I was going to settle. I was maybe going to settle in California, but I ended up not. So, but it's not in her journals. I do have some of her journals, but they're from like more like the 80s. They're not, I don't even think they go back to the 70s. She didn't write as profusively as I do. I have probably, 100 journals now. Well, I number them, and I am on 121. 121. Like this one's from a year ago, and it's 110. So, but those early ones, I threw some of them away, and I had a lot. Sometimes I would have like A and B and C, so like that. So I write a lot. I write like every day. So in that aspect, I write, but I'm not working like on my book like I need to be, and I need to do that. But I also beat myself up a lot, and I should not do that. You guys. I'm a mess. But I kind of like, I came out of my marriage and out of my Christian nationalism and out of evangelicalism, and you know, had an empty nest syndrome, and just I was just heartbroken. And we were doing the book. I told you we were discussing this book, and she gave us all little pieces of paper of different feelings, and and everybody gasped because I said I got heartbreak, and I actually have this tattoo. So I have a poem, and I'll say that one. And it's called Heart on Your Sleeve. And let's see, it's on page. I want to read some from my new book too. So I'll open it up on my computer. I'm having to downsize things on my computer. You guys, I have so much stuff to do. I get kind of overwhelmed thinking about it. I shouldn't think about it. No. Oh, and then I procrastinate. It's bad. It's bad, bad, bad. I should read The Woman Stuck Inside Her House. That's on page 29. Heart on Your Sleeve is on page 15. Heart on my sleeve. I took the heart from my sleeve. I took the heart from my sleeve and held it in my hand. This was inspired by a Mary Engelbrett picture. It has the light shining through it. And it was a little girl, and it goes with this Switchfoot song, Where the Light Shines Through. But in the Mary Engelbrett picture, this girl, red-haired girl, is holding a heart that's broken, and the sun is shining down through the cracks. And the quote is by Leonard Cohen, but it's the same as the concept of this song by Switchfoot. There's a crack in everything. That's how the light gets in. So that's where this poem came from. I took the heart from my sleeve and held it in my hand. Lord, why must I always wear this here? I don't understand. People don't either. What's that on your sleeve? Must be a red flag. You must be dangerous. Why do some think me courageous? I cannot tell a lie. I give all my secrets away because I would rather die than lead someone astray. Yeah, I'm so good because of me. Now I want them to see it's only because of him. If my pride's already gone, there's no one that can hurt it. If my heart breaks, it's okay because I hear my Savior say, now your heart looks like mine. Broken hearts are the best kind. The Lord is near to those who have a broken heart and saves such as have a contrite spirit. Psalm 34:18. So it was very difficult thing when I downsized. I had so much stuff, and so many journals, and I got rid of 1,500 books, and I donated them to the Friends of the Library. And some of them were antique books too, very, very old books. And it was a very difficult thing to do. And that's why I was very proud of myself for doing it. I've had to let a lot of things go. And yeah. And yeah, and I let a lot of things go in 2016 too. And two, that was, I had my head in the sand, and I still had my head in the sand. And I also did not vote, which was bad. I wish I had voted for Hillary, but I was so heartbroken, going through so much turmoil in my life. It was really like, my husband said, okay, fine, you're going to divorce me. I'm taking all the kids away from you, and they will hate you, and that'll be it. And it nearly killed me. Like, everybody talks about how awful 2020 was, and it was, but for me, my 2019 was worse for me, because that's when my youngest two were cutting me off, and then I had a disagreement with my middle daughter, and she cut me off, and so that's when I was suicidal in 2019, because like I just felt like I had nothing left. I'm like, he did it, he succeeded. I was just talking, just hardly at all. I didn't really have a very good relationship with either of them, but I was still talking to my sons, but not seeing them very often. And then 2019 is when my son moved here to Denver too. So I was in Georgia with 3 of my kids that weren't talking to me. I didn't have a good relationship. One of them was in contact with me, but he's just been going through a lot himself. And then my one that was in the my middle daughter that was in the Army, she contacted me when I came. Everything started getting better in 2022. And ironically, that is when I voted in the midterms too. But I still wasn't informed. I just voted straight Democratic ticket. And so, yeah. But now, it's funny, I'm like, let me put on some music. I went for a walk today, and then I came back, and I'm just like, what am I going to talk about tonight on my live? And I don't know. And I put on some music, and I love the Need to Breathe song, and that is the one that I probably will get on this song. Keep Your Eyes Open. It's a song by Need to Breathe, and so that kind of sounds like being woke, doesn't it? And it's funny. I had so much my head in the sand that when Megas called me woke, I didn't even know what they were talking about. I didn't even know. It just got so ugly. You guys, I want to say, I was so with my head in the sand that I learned a Christian rap, and I didn't know how Christian nationalist it was until years later. And then, no joke, only this crazy stuff happens to me. The lady that I got involved with, this group of Christians, and it was like a Christian pyramid scheme, and it's the woman that wrote this Christian rap. Let me see if I still remember it. And this was the first thing I learned, that I was like, hey, I can memorize my poems too. And that's a thing now, because I didn't even know it was a thing. And I'm like, oh, a spoken word poet. That's what I'll be. I can say my poem. I can memorize my poems and say them. and I'll be a spoken word poet. So, but first I learned this one that was written by this Christian, and it's really Christian nationalist, and it even mentions, and this was back in like 2012, 20. Yeah, this is what I memorized before I started memorizing my own poems. So it goes like this. To be a survivor in this amazing race with a need for speed, you need God's grace. So if you're desperate like housewives watching Days of Our Lives, you can't cope without hope, and that's not on a soap. If you listen to Oprah or Dr. Phil, you can shop nonstop or pop a pill. But the void won't fill and the pain won't kill till you love the one who hung on the hill, kicking back in your lazy boy easy chair, watching Who Wants to Be a Millionaire. Nah, you're not going to find it there. No American Idol or Counselor Tribal can satisfy you. You can be an apprentice for Donald Trump or eat Fear Factor fast food from a dump. You can be a heavy hitter, a Wheel of Fortune winner, a Fox News no spin spinner, or a flat out sinner. But you better be checking this life that you're living. Be sure your sins are forgiven. I bet you done 50 cents. Elvis and Michael done came and went, and eventually every Black Eyed Bee, Gwen Stefani, P. Diddy, every wannabe on MTV with their icy bling, every Dixie chick that sings. Christian nationalists don't like Dixie chicks. They're all going to see the King of Kings. I don't care if you're J-Lo, Beno, or Bono. One thing you got to know, one day you're going to die, bro. Then where are you going to go? Hey, I'm not talking some punk junk that's out of date like your grandma's church from way back when. It's not some preacher feature on TBN that you need to be liking or listening. The real superstar is Jesus Christ. He's the way and the truth and the life. One day he's going to split the sky. He's the brightest light and the highest high. So what I came here for and what I'm telling you is don't buy that stupid stuff they be selling you. It's all designed to fill your head and waste your space until you're dead. Here's the bottom line of my rhyme. Give your life to God while there's still time. I don't know if I skipped the part, but there's a part where it says CNN's got no good news. Here's the headline you must choose. It's not a simple life, Paris Hilton. It's treading on thin ice, living in sin. You can be an apprentice for Donald Trump. That's the part I missed. That's the line I missed. Or eat Fear Factor fast food from a dump. Yeah. So this lady named Tamara Lowe wrote that, and then I got involved. You guys, I am so thankful I got out of this, but she's a scammer. She's a Christian scammer. And beware of her. She's still around. Tamara Lowe. I could get in trouble. I don't care. Come for me. Come for me. I'm angry. I'm angry. I have a reason to be angry. So yeah, a lot of things. But thankfully, so I entered like her program. I gave her. That was in 2015. So around 2012 is when I memorized she sort of drew me in because I was like, oh, wow, she's the one that wrote that, the 1 minute, it's called the 1 minute sermon. You can Google it. And it used to be that I would come up too saying it because, but I took that video down. It was on my old YouTube. I ended up with more than one YouTube. I made one on my phone I didn't mean to, but I did. And so I had two, and then I had to delete. I had to figure out how to download the videos and save them. I just had like a couple of videos, like family videos. I had my nephew and my son under a waterfall in Georgia. I remember that. And so I had to figure out how to like save my videos, and then I deleted the one channel, and then I kept this channel. And I think this was like it says this channel is from 2016, I think. And like in my first video, you can see like 2020. I think that is when I figured out how to do all that. And then I had my friend's wedding on my friend there's a Trumper. My Trumper friend. Oh my goodness. And you guys, we used to be like Christian groupies, but not like the bad kind, but for the Newsboys group. And so my friend that I met at a Newsboys missions trip to Mexico in 2017. My friend, I had her wedding on tab, and this was one of the things. There were so many things like I had to figure out how to do. Like I was like, how do I what do I do with my yearbooks that I don't want from Boca Raton High School? And I looked up several things about how do I recycle these, or what do I do? And what I did was I let my high school figure it out, and I mailed them to Boca Raton. It was a lot though. They were heavy. I had 4 big. They must have cost like $50 or back then in the 80s. Expensive, nice, color yearbooks, and all the little things. They called me Mermaid. And this was before the mermaid even had the Little Mermaid had red hair. Disney. My mom thought that was so cute. She's like, "Oh, look, they gave her red hair." My mom would read my journals. She's like, "Oh, why they call you Mermaid?" But anyways, I got it was like this. It weighed like 50 pounds because it was 4 big, thick yearbooks from Boca High from 81, 82, 83, and 84. And so I sent them to Boca Raton High School. So, yeah. So, hey, Brenda, how are you? Good to see you. So anyways, there's so much stuff I was going through, and I guess going through all that in 2020 made me come out of the funk and just get busy. And I had all that stuff to do, and I was like, how do I tried to send it to her on a thumb drive that got damaged and got lost came out of the envelope. I think she got the envelope without the thumb drive. So I had filmed this friend's wedding, who I met at the Newsboys missions trip. And so I have her wedding. I have videos on here that are private. So I have videos on my YouTube that are private. But I did, and I think that's how I finally was able to send it to her. I finally got it to her somehow, and I think that was how. Crystal had to leave because she's watching her grandbabies. But so anyways, I was going through all that in 2020. I was busy in 2020. In 2019, I quit doing Airbnb, and I was like, I was so just depressed. And 2017, I went through the date rape. In 2018, I went through the thing with the green card guy. With Trump's travel ban that didn't work, because he still was able to come here, and then he was trying to get me to marry him for a green card because of that travel ban. And I don't really know whatever happened with him in that, because I had him blocked after that. And he got so mad because it was the same thing with the publishers that ripped me off. There wasn't anything I could do. There wasn't anything I could do with them. I couldn't sue them. I didn't have the money to sue them when this was all going down, and I realized that they were ripping me off. I had a lawyer come to my Airbnb and talk to her about it and showed her the contract and everything. She said, well, the good thing about this is it's over. You know, they wanted me to keep signing up and then buying my book from them. And I'm like, no, I'm not doing that. And so I didn't re-sign up with them. She said, this contract is over. I think it was that year, 2018. And so I couldn't do anything. So I spoke out on social media, and that's why they got mad at me. And some people backed out. They tried to they were trying to sue me for other people breaking their contract with them. Like, I didn't break my contract with them. It just ran out. But because I spoke out on social media and I wrote a blog post and I kept blasting them on social media, like the copy, I'm thinking of getting off X now because of Elon and everything. And a lot of people are leaving X. But I have the most followers on X, on Twitter, because I have like 2,800 followers, because I was following all these people that were following Page Publishing, and it took them forever for them to block me. And I would just tag them and I would blast them and say, do not hire them. They ripped me off. And so this is why they tried to sue me, but nothing came of it. It was a frivolous lawsuit. They didn't really have anything. I saw some of the things the judge said was like, I just have the .com Redheaded Riding Hood. I went through LegalZoom and I could probably still do it. LegalZoom gave me my money back, but they started to do a search and there really wasn't anybody else with that name. And when you copyright something, you can't do it over, like, if I copyrighted it would just be for like books or something like that, right? Redheaded Riding Hood, writing with a W. If I copyrighted it, it would just be for books. So someone else could make, I don't know why they would, but someone else could make, I don't know, my cupcakes. I can red velvet cupcakes. I make red velvet cupcakes. Red, you know. Also carrot cupcakes. They're really good. And someone could copyright it for something else, which seemed weird. I was kind of disappointed when I found that. I was like, what? You can just copyright it for one thing. So anyways, I didn't actually go through that whole process. But anyway, so that's how the lawsuit came about. And then the same thing happened with, there was really nothing I could do when I found out Muhammad was being fake when he got me to fall for him and almost marry him. But it was just for a green card. It was fake. So there was nothing I could do about that either. I even went to the police. They're like, that's an immigration thing. I called immigration. They only want to know they want you to report if you know of a fake marriage, of somebody getting married for, so they don't want to know of someone trying to find someone to marry. Or they don't go that far back. So it was the same thing. So I blogged about him. And then guess what? I was trying for a couple months to try to get him to call me, but he wouldn't call me because he was lying to me and saying he was out. He went back to Saudi Arabia when he didn't. It was so much. He told me what he went through and like the interrogation and all of that, because Syria was under the travel ban. He lived in Saudi Arabia, but he was from Syria. So he was under the travel ban, Trump's travel ban. But he had a visa that he got before that. So your ban did not work, and it was Islamophobic. And yeah, he really got my sympathies when he told me that. too. But like old me, like, oh goodness, like you guys, old me from back when I was a faithful wife and a mother and an evangelical, and we taught children in Awanas and children's church, and old me would have been, oh, old me would have been horrified to see new me dating an Islamic man. Oh, old Islamophobic me would have been, but yeah. And what he did to me was not because he wasn't bad, because he was, everybody is different. And I'm like, I see this everywhere. Just like I said, I thought about doing tonight's live on a kingdom divided against itself cannot stand. And I see infighting is coming. Infighting is going to come in MAGA, in Trump world, but there's a little bit of, there's some of it in with the Democrats, and it's sad. I wish we could come together more. And I don't want the liberals to give up. We need to write people. I'm watching Vic. I like Vic, the old white guy. Let me share that. It's like these people don't always, we don't always agree 100% with each other, but some things we got. He's got 1 million. That is cool. He's got 3 million views. He's got, in the last 30 days, Vic Myers, old white guy, he's in Colorado here too, because he said he wrote a letter to Bennett, and that's who my senator is, Bennett. He's got a good channel here. Let me share it. He's on TikTok. Because he started out, I think the one that went viral on TikTok that I saw was, I'm an old white guy. I don't like him saying that because he's the same age as me. He says, I'm a 57-year-old white guy. Well, I'm 58 now. I just turned 58. But and then he surprises you because he looks just like he looks just like a MAGA guy, right? And then he says, I'm voting for Kamala Harris. And he's pretty cool. So anyways, and then I told you I am listening to Star Spangled Jesus, which I very much relate to. And that is April, by April Ajoy. And she is on the New Evangelicals channel. So, and these are Christians who are liberal. Wow. What a concept. But my mom and dad were Presbyterians. So they were Democrats. So. Well, I've gone an hour. Let me see. I'm going to read The Woman Stuck Inside Her House. I like that one. Oh, wait. I could read one from my new book, though. I said I was going to do that, didn't I? But so I came here to Denver in 2022 after I sold my RV in St. Louis, and then I bought my RAV4, and then I came here. And right after I came here, my middle daughter contacted me. So that was awesome. That was awesome. The things that have been a bumpy ride since I got my divorce and left Georgia, the things that have been a bumpy ride was me still trying to fit in with people, and like my codependency, and just not being like I changed my politics, but I wasn't really informed about it. I was just like, okay, I'm not going to do that anymore, but I wasn't, and then throwing the baby out with the bathwater is like throwing out Christianity altogether, because I'm not going to be an evangelical and be homophobic, Islamophobic, and racist and all of that. And I just learned from the new evangelicals, I didn't even know this, is that the Southern Baptist Church split from the other Baptists because of the Civil War. They were, and I'm like, and it's like, oh, okay, we're not racist. We have our token black couple in the church. And it was the same, like, I don't even think there was one in the second one we went to, though, the second Baptist church we went to. But they were, they hide it, but like with the white robes, they hide it. But yeah, because we went for counseling, my husband and I, because we were arguing about our son was dating a black girl, and this is how helpful they were. We go in there, and the white pastor says, oh, I wouldn't like it if my son was dating a black girl either. And that was my cue, to leave there. But see, we didn't. My husband agreed with him, and I shouldn't have put up with that. But anyways, these were all the things that were just, like I said, it wasn't just one thing. I said, one of my children gets upset because I believe it's my ex that blames one of our children, which is a horrible thing to do, and I never have. And I said, no, it wasn't that. It was a lot of these things. It was many things. It wasn't just one thing. That was just the final straw that broke the camel's back, I guess. But it was a lot of things. Yeah. It was a lot of things why I left evangelicalism. It was a lot of things why I left the Republican Party. It was a lot of things. But the main big glaring thing that got me out of the Republican Party was Donald Trump. And he's that for a lot of people. Good job, Donald. And he did not win by a landslide, y'all. He won by 1.8%. You know that 2.5 million people voted for a third party? Did y'all know that? It was no red wave. It was no red wave. It was not. 1.8%. That's what he won by, 1.8%. And it's sad. But we should have seen it coming. You know what? I was still naive. I thought when he did the insurrection, I thought there's no way, I didn't think he was going to be able to run again. And according to the 14th Amendment, he shouldn't be able to run again. That's what I've been told by a lot of people. Because anybody who does an insurrection is not supposed to be allowed to run for office again. So, yeah. So, with everything, it's been a lot of stuff Red's been through. And I'm just now speaking up about the politics part of it. But I'm really glad I did. It really, speaking up about it and having that hope, but I'm not sorry to have had that hope that Kamala would win. Because hope is good. Wait, let me read. So a person at church read the Emily Dixon poem I've read on here before. And let me read it here again. Hope is a thing with feathers. Emily Dickinson. Hope is a thing with feathers that perches in the soul and sings the tune without the words and never stops at all. And sweetest in the gale is heard, and sore must be the storm that could abash the little bird that kept so many warm. I've heard it in the chillest land and on the strangest sea, yet never in extremity it asked a crumb of me. So I am still glad that I spoke out. What was I gonna read? Okay. Oh, 29. The woman stuck inside her house. Let me read that one. 1 hour and 18 minutes. The woman stuck inside her house. Can someone please coax her out? She thinks she's free, but she's not. What is this? Just her sad lot? Peace and love, she says, is the way, but war and hate she speaks all day. The Beatles sang of nowhere man. This woman's also in his land. Can someone help to stop her pain? If Scarecrow only had a brain. She talks down from her high horse. She can't understand what she does, of course. She's stuck in I, me, my land, while others try to take her hand. She talks of open-mindedness, yet closes the door on their kindness. Lonely, jealous could she be, yet she has lots of company. Anger, fear, anxiety. She says you hide in your piety. She judges and says do not judge. She says she doesn't like to debate, but she starts it up. She is too late. They say you become what you focus on. Well, then I won't worry about her. I'm gone. Are you offended? You shouldn't be, because this poem is about me. Yeah. That was me. And that was kind of a political debate against abortion, pro-abortion. And I didn't really realize, Fun Day Fridays. That's how I found out about April Ajoy was Fun Day Fridays. They talk about various evangelicals and sort of expose them, but I like the poem Beatles songs. Yeah, that's one I wrote a long time ago. I don't even know how long ago that was from. But in contemplating my, being on my own, I wanted to get published, and I was kind of in a hurry. This time when I was in a hurry, it wasn't bad because this was free publishing this on Amazon. Now, whether it would have done better somewhere else or, I don't know if I could have, but I don't know. But that's from 2015. So yeah, I was contemplating, getting divorced and being on my own. It was kind of frightening. I hadn't had a real job in 30 years, and that's why I wasn't able to find a job, and I tried like everywhere. I tried to be a waitress, and I couldn't even get a job as a waitress. I almost got a job at Waffle House. I almost got a job at Waffle House. It was going to be working nights. It was going to totally mess me up. That was when I was still living in my ex's house too. And goodness, so many. I got so many stories, and I need to write them down. I need to get my keyboard fixed, and so I can. I really like the voice to text thing. That's gonna be really helpful because, yeah, I don't think we even had that back before. So that's a thing that's going to be helpful. So, thirsty. Gonna open my root beer. I get to go. I'm excited about Thanksgiving. I'm going to my friend's house, and that should be fun. And I'm excited about my new church. I need to stay positive. I am excited about going to see my grandbabies for Christmas. But as I said before, I wish I were more in touch with my kids that I am in touch with, but it is what it is, and I'm glad that I'm least in contact with them, So, yeah. And let me see something. If we can find my. Wow. There's a lot of stuff I need to delete from my computer. I opened up the wrong thing. Wait, let me go here. I don't have my documents organized very well, and I don't know where. Trying to find my book. Ah, found it. Found it. Now, if I would just open. I think my computer is having problems because it has too much stuff on it. So I'm probably going to let you all go, and I will pray for you all. Thank you for being here. And I'm glad I prayed for John while he was here, because I don't know if he's still here or not. But yeah, I just remembered that when I opened it up before is when StreamYard kind of freaked out when I opened up my, I really need to take care of things on my computer, and I'll probably work on that some tomorrow. So thank you all for being here. I'm going to pray for everybody. Appreciate y'all sticking with me. I appreciate it. And I still need to do some more. I have a lot of them, but do some more videos of poems from my new book and from my old book. So, I have lots of stuff to work on. And lots of stuff. So let me pray for y'all. Dear Lord, thank you for all these YouTube followers. I pray that you would bless them, Lord. Thank you for Crystal coming in here. I pray that you would bless her. And thank you for her, Lord. I pray that you would lead us all into all truth, Lord, that we would see things maybe even that we don't want to see, Lord, that we would see the truth, and that we all have maybe done things, like I know I've had beliefs and systems and fought for things that maybe, and I was a little misguided, Lord, and overzealous, and just maybe not really representing your heart, Lord. And I just pray that you would show us when we're in the wrong so that we can align with you, Lord. I pray for Elsa, Lord, that you be with her and keep her well and safe, and that you bless her children and her fur babies. I pray you continue to heal John Chalker and bless him, and thank you for him coming back to my channel. And I pray you bless Brenda and her children and her grandchildren and keep her safe as she travels, and bless her and her husband, and thank you for her friendship and for her support. I pray you bless all my children and my grandchildren, Lord, and be with them and watch over them. Lord, I pray you continue to guide me in my life. Thank you for bringing me through all the stuff I've been through, Lord, for leading me out of Georgia, for guiding me about all the things you have guided me about, Lord, that I was able to sell my house in 2020, Lord, that I was able to come to Denver in 2022, Lord, that I was able to travel in my RV for a year in a pandemic. Lord, thank you for that I was able to do those things. And I pray all these things in Jesus' name. Amen. All righty, guys, I'm going to go. I am not going live again Wednesday because I have church. So I have a real life in-person thing. I need to keep doing these things, which is good. I'm proud of myself for doing them. I'm like reaching out. I'm trying to find my tribe, and it's been good. It's been mostly good. So I will be back Friday, and every day I'm doing the devotion. This one, it's very good. I might get another one, and I honestly, Lord, please bless all the megas, and especially the ones that I had to block, Lord. God bless Linda. I pray that she will read the book she won. Linda won this book. God bless you, Linda. I will still continue to pray for you. Linda won this book on my channel. I don't know if she ever read it or cracked it open. Maybe she'll read along with me. Lord, read along with me, Linda. So anyways, this is what I'm reading for the daily devotion now. And I'm going to let you go. Like I said, now I have 5 watching. Should I keep going? No. Thank you all so much for watching the replay. Mwah, mwah, mwah. I love you. I get most of the watches on the replay. So please watch the replay if you missed it. If you come in now, because I see there's 5 people here now, please watch the replay. I love you. I'll be back Friday, not Wednesday, Friday for Dinner with Red. We'll see what's going on with everybody then. Hi, Carolyn. Hi. I'm sorry, I was just about to go. Watch the replay, okay? And I'll pray for you real quick. Dear Lord, please bless Carolyn and her family, and thank you for her support. And I pray that you would be with her and guide her in her life. Pray in Jesus' name. Amen. Thank you all so much. Yeah. And I'm going to go. Don't say that no one cares for you, because I do, and God does too. Don't forget to pray for Red, because Red is praying for you. Bye.